Hey, what's up guys, aarava here, and welcome back to the last question mark challenge here today for the 2020 Spanish Grand Prix. Today we take on this challenge driving as Max Verstappen in his Red Bull racing car. Thought it'd be fitting since he won the last Grand Prix, and in theory maybe it's going to be a decent weekend for Red Bull. I don't know, I'm recording this video ahead of qualifying, ahead of the race, so you guys will know a bit more than I do, this being uploaded straight after qualifying, so let me know your predictions for tomorrow's race on Sunday. But here in the game, the Red Bull car maybe is not as quick as it is in real life in comparison, so maybe we might struggle a little bit. Traffic's going to be difficult, but we're going to get straight into this then and dive in and waste no time as we go to 5 red lights to the Spanish Grand Prix. Driving as Verstappen, last to question mark. How far up the order can we get? It's a very good start for us there. We jump 2 cars in one go. Maybe you could even get a 3rd or 4th into turn 1 if we're lucky, trying to make some moves into the inside of turn 1. Very close to that Haas car, Grosjean, as Mans goes sailing around the outside and tries to get Raikkonen. Those two do a really nice battle into turn 3 though. On the inside, trying to use the downforce. We've got obviously advantage in the Red Bull car to good use. Raikkonen washes over us, but we get the job done on the outside. Just feather the throttle and we can actually plant the power very early actually in the Red Bull car compared to these midfield cars. And so already making good progress up into P15 round the outside then of Checo Perez back in the car, obviously having tested negative for COVID-19, so he's back, and the super sub Hulkenberg is out this weekend, and we go and make a lovely overtake there, finish it off, and okay, maybe it wasn't so lovely. We made a little bit of contact actually with Perez. I'm sorry, hopefully I didn't jinx Perez there for the real life race tomorrow, as we now send one down the inside of Pierre Gasly in the AlphaTauri. And this is going to be probably one of the best opening laps we've had really actually so far in the 2020 game when it comes to this challenge, because we were a little bit slow in the previous ones here, but we're nearly at the top 10. I mean, I can see the top 10 in sight as we come through the last sector. Tricky to overtake here, but can we have a little look on Gio? We have a look, thought better of it though, so we have to stick behind the P13s. We run now onto lap number 2. But if you're unfamiliar with the challenge, we're here with a 25% race. You'll notice 17 laps to go, short and sweet, so I have to make the moves when they really matter, and we've done that so far, but in a straight line there, lacking a bit of oomph. Obviously we used a lot of overtake mode on that opening lap, and what I actually forgot at the start of the race was this is obviously not my team career mode car, so I have to do a lot more management of the ERS, so I kind of actually used probably a little bit too much ERS on that opening lap, so that's going to hinder me this entire race now basically, because it's going to be constantly trying to find and harvest more energy. But in the corners it won't matter, because look at the difference of pace we've got mid-corner. The apex speed is so much quicker. We're able to go on the power so much earlier than the Alfa Romeo racing car, and we're up into P12. The next one along, Lance Stroll, and then the second AlphaTauri we've seen today of Daniel Kvyat. Can we get Stroll maybe in the same corner where we got Gasly on the previous one? Really good run up the hill early on the power there, again using plenty again of ERS, so I'm really just not really ignoring it at this stage basically, and I'm going to pay the price later on in the race, you'll probably see. But we go on the outside of that left-hander into sector 3 up into P11, and points now are only 1 position away. Kvyat wobbling already a little bit, so maybe he's already feeling some tyre wear, and wow, actually into that next right-hander. Kvyat's so slow that we get him on the inside into the chicane. How? I did not expect that, because that's such an awkward corner now in this year's game, because they've recambered it and repositioned it to be a lot more realistic like real life, and it's so awkward to actually make a move because the momentum swing is just not there when you go through the apex. So that was a bit of a weird one, but Kvyat very slow, maybe just obviously lets us by because we're in the senior Red Bull team. And so we're up into the points paying positions now. Look in the back of Daniel Ricciardo in the Renault. One thing that's obviously not unfortunately simulated in this kind of race is the engine, tyre temps. The engine temps are simulated. As you can see, the engine's getting a little bit hot, so I need to make sure we go in lean mixture and standard to try and cool down the engine. Can't use rich the entire time, but the tyre temps, obviously, I'm expecting them to be another talking point at the real life Grand Prix, just like they were at the 70th anniversary Grand Prix just gone, because it's still a scorcher around Europe, although there was some rain actually on Thursday at Catalonia, so that might be something to think about. But in the game, that's not much of an issue here, so just trying to basically just go as flat out as we can basically in a 25% rate, and try and use the kind of aerodynamic flexing muscles we can in the Red Bull car to try and get this done in the corners, because in a straight line we are lacking a little bit, and we go for a big dive bomb on Mr. Dive Bomb himself, Ricciardo. We'll lock ourselves up there, but we actually managed to somehow stay ahead of him there. So Ricciardo I invited him in, basically, because I went so deep into that corner, and yet he just didn't go down the inside, so fair play, and we get P9, and now we're on the back of Lando Norris in the first of the two McLarens lining astern here, Sainz in P7 and Norris in P8 respectively, so we're catching up now with DRS, not too much ERS usage now, because I realised, basically, I used way too much in the opening laps here, so I need to try and harvest some now, but Norris, very snaky in the rear end, he's looking a little bit weak there, I think the McLaren, yep, there you go, another massive wobble, two wobbles in fact, Norris very bad on the tyre wear, down the inside we go, on the right hand to squeeze him out, and we're up into P8. That was a massive tank slapper for the young Brit there, so he's really feeling the tyre wear. Lap number 5, very peculiar, and so we go chasing after now his teammate Sainz, as now we have some few people in the pit lane, including my teammate, I think that was Alexander Albon, so the pit window is open for us, lap number 7, onto a set of medium tyres. Don't suspect we should be able to catch Sainz really on this lap, I would say, because I think he's going to have enough of a toe off Ocon, maybe, but let's see. Sector 3 might be a different story up the hill, just like Norris was. He's actually quite poor, maybe, mid-corner due to the tyre wear, so can we go sailing round on the right-hand side? He goes very defensive, and we kind of roll the car through, and kind of halfway through the corner, we have a little bit of room to work with. We go to the, we switch it from right to left, and that's going to be a lovely, lovely pass. We dance around the Spaniard pretty much at his home GP there, right to left, little Jimmy, and we're up into P4 on the road. Of course, it'll be a little bit further down as we come in to the pit lane now with Ocon, and hit the bollard in anger at the fact that we're in last place as Verstappen. But we're in now for a set of medium tyres, and now it will just be Ocon left, and then I'm pretty sure that's us into the top 6, where you'd expect, obviously, one of the top 3 cars to get back to from last place. Then it's a big question mark of, can we try and attack Albon and the other cars? Like I said, the Red Bull car, unfortunately, in the game is maybe not as quick as it really is in real life, and the Ferrari is a lot quicker than it is in real life in the game as it stands. You know, still, you know, what's it now? You know, nearly 6 races gone, and we're still yet to get a kind of performance patch, which is a little bit annoying, to be honest. But there we are, out in P8. Ocon is P7. So yeah, once we've overtaken the Frenchman, then we are in the best of the rest positions, basically, and then it's a case of, can we get Albon at least, and then see what we can do. There's a rather large gap in front of Albon, so I have a annoying suspicion that once we get Albon, we may just be stuck there in P5, and that may be the best we can do. But first and foremost, need to actually try and get to Albon and overtake Ocon first. Easier said than done. The Renault pretty okay in a straight line, actually, in the game. We saw with Ricciardo, had to leave it till sector 3, and we're going to have to do the same here again with the Frenchman. Climb up the hill, 6th gear, then get on the power nice and early there. DRS open, use a little bit of ERS, but not too much, because we're still very low on deployment levels. But on the outside again, like we did with Sainz, but this time even better, find the traction in second gear, and we just walk around him on the outside of that left-hander into sector 3, and we're up into P7. And now, can we chase after Albon? The answer is actually no. The ERS, like I said, I used too much of it at the start, and it actually impacted me for the rest of the race, basically. I just could not catch him. I guess he had way more deployment left to use on every straight, because every straight I was losing out, and then obviously I just lost focus, basically, and lost motivation to catch him, because I just wasn't catching him, and so he actually gained some seconds on me. So in the end, Lewis Hamilton will win this 2020 Spanish Grand Prix, and us driving as Verstappen, it's last to 6th place. I imagine Verstappen may be a little bit higher than that in tomorrow's Grand Prix on Sunday, but that's the whole point of these videos, to maybe do some voodoo and see what we predicted wrong. But I guess we'll predict this wrong, because I think the Red Bulls are going to look a little bit stronger than they are in this race we've just done. But guys, if you did enjoy that video, then be sure to hit that like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. And like I said, this is uploaded after quali, but ahead of the race, but I've seen none of it. So let me know what you thought of qualifying, and let me know your predictions for the race. Come back to this video after Sunday and see how we did in terms of predictions. Will Hamilton be winning it, or will the temperatures allow Red Bull to spread those wings and soar? We'll have to see. But I hope you guys enjoyed tomorrow's race. I hope you enjoyed this video. Till the next one, if you're on your own here, do get subscribed. I've been aarava. Goodbye.